It's Cumbrian slate, so it's a very hard slate, and so it's just finding ways in of how to work it. This is not good slate. This is their offcuts, the stuff they can't use, they don't want, and there's a reason for that. No, so it's not the very best. I don't need it to be the very best. So it's got a kind of quality to it because of that. But the sawn edges are something that I don't usually have to deal with, and that gives it a sort of a mechanical, cold quality. So I'm trying to release some of the raw energy that is in slate, and it is a raw form. You know, these cut pieces are just so smooth, so well behaved, but that's not the nature of slate. It's an aggressive, sharp material, and breaking it releases that sharpness. I used to make these in 3 days. I mean, this is bigger, much bigger than the original, and when you make a little bit bigger, it's a lot bigger. You know, it's like the outside. A large egg is a lot bigger than a medium egg. You know, hugely big, because it's that surface area. So there's a lot more to deal with. So I may have miscalculated the length of time.
The government art collection supplies art to government buildings. So that means the major Whitehall departments, embassies like this around the world. It provides a kind of a stage through which, for instance, the work of diplomacy and embassy can be effectively carried out with this backdrop of British creativity. Here at the British Embassy in Copenhagen, what we'll do is we'll have an art display both for the interior of the building and also in the garden where Andy Goldsworthy is currently working.
Oh, sculpture is so boring. You know, when I worked on farms, it's the best training for sculpture.
Yeah.
Because it's learning to do things over long periods of time. I think what I was trying to start off doing here was trying to calculate it so I could kind of work out, but really they can't be made that way. You've got to create a kind of a rhythm, and if you measure everything, then you're blocking the rhythm to some extent. So that's what I'm trying to. Today's getting better because I've got a better rhythm going.
The reason that the Goldsworthy slate cone is currently being moved is because the Foreign and Commonwealth Office are closing the current residence, and it's being moved onto the embassy compound in the centre of Copenhagen. And this has created the opportunity for Andy to return after 30 years and rebuild the sculpture, as probably he always wanted it to be built. This has much more kind of energy, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And I can see I lost my bottle on the other one as I came up. And I think I was just, I don't know, I was aiming for somewhere up there.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I haven't got enough slate. I have that memory of intimidation here, and you know, the whole preciousness of the place. I'm going to make a mess. This is going to be raw. I'm just going to make a mess. First day was 20 centimetres, second day was 20. If I can get up to 30 centimetres today, that would be great. So we're at this point now here. We're beginning to bottom out. Like I say, this is I don't often have a diagram like this, I just do them by feel, but because I'm not fully, I haven't worked with this form for a while, I just feel I need a little bit of some control of some kind.
We've just gone past the belly of it, so it's going to start to taper to a kind of a narrower point. So hopefully, you know, all these things we should really start to see some good progress, I think, over the next day or two. Andy, this is Vivian.
Hello,
Hi,
Vivian.
very, very nice to meet you. It's lovely watching you do this. I've so enjoyed having the cone.
I had never really understood exactly how it had been built. I understood it had sort of used dry stone techniques and so on. But coming and arriving and seeing the new cone as a work in progress, watching the craftsmanship involved in that, watching how you take very sharp-edged pieces of stone, very angular pieces of stone, and make this beautiful, soft, natural shape gradually coming to life in the garden is a fascinating experience. Coming to the residence is coming to a little bit of Britain. I think it will become even more of my life and centre of how I present Britain here.
We're very close to the end now. The final pieces are being cut at the moment, these circular pieces. It's looking wonderful. The previous incarnation of the cone, he's talked about the shape being the product of pressure and fear, and that particularly is noticeable right at the top. So it's important that, you know, the capstone, you know, follows the contour that he's created for the rest of the cone.
take this off.
Yep. Okay.
For those people who can't believe the little hole, this is not something you should do in your home. I mean, when I made it.
Yeah, isn't that fantastic?
I probably feel entirely happy with this one, which is not a normal state that I would be in at this stage of a project, because normally when you just finish you just really hate it, or there's things you don't like about it. But I mean, generally there's a couple of things I could have worked on different, but generally it's worked out very, very well.